Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news, so let's talk about a potential blockbuster move that could seriously shake up the NFC North and give the Lions even more firepower on defense. Rumors are swirling around J.C. Horn, the talented cornerback from the Carolina Panthers, potentially heading to Detroit. Now I know what some of you are thinking, Horn. That's a serious upgrade for our secondary, especially after the injuries we've seen in the back end this season. But what's the real story here? And how could it all unfold? Sources close to the league, including respected insiders like Diana Rossini, are whispering that the Panthers, currently sitting at an abysmal 1-8 record, are in full rebuild mode. They have about $20 million in cap space that's free and clear, but they're also leaking points, giving up an eye-popping 32 points per game. You can see that the team is in flux, trying to find the right direction, and it's clear they're prioritizing the future over the present. The Panthers are reportedly eyeing a trade involving J.C. Horn in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. But what's driving this move? Well, Carolina is looking to rebuild their roster, especially on the offensive side, after some injuries to key players like Chuba Hubbard, who's been out for 2 games with a concussion. They're also trying to free up some cap space to extend their young star, Bryce Young, who's been showing flashes of potential, but needs better protection and weapons around him. The Panthers are focusing on bolstering their offensive line and giving their rookie quarterback more support, which makes sense given their current struggles. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions are sitting pretty at 7-3, and with about $15 million in cap space, they're looking to make strategic moves to push their Super Bowl window wider open. One of their biggest needs right now is bolstering the secondary, especially after losing C.J. Gardner-Johnson to injury. The Lions are known for their aggressive, ball-hawking defense, and adding a player like Horn could be exactly what they need to take that next step. Remember, Horn's profile fits perfectly with what Detroit wants. He's young, talented, and brings a physical, disruptive style that can neutralize the opponent's best receivers. Now let's get into the details of J.C. Horn's profile, because he's not just any corner. Drafted in 2021, Horn has shown flashes of elite coverage ability, especially in man-to-man situations. He's got the size, 6'1", 200 pounds, that allows him to match up physically against the league's top receivers, and he's shown an ability to stick with them, making life difficult for quarterbacks. In 2025, he's played in 8 games, tallying 22 solo tackles, 10 assists, and 32 combined tackles. He's also recorded 2 interceptions, returning them for 25 yards and forced 1 fumble. His career stats include 10 picks and 180 total tackles, along with 2 trips to the Pro Bowl, so he's proven he can perform at a high level when healthy. And that's an important point. Horn has dealt with some knee injuries, missing 2 games this season, but reports suggest he's fully recovered and ready to be a key piece in Detroit's secondary. His metrics are impressive, an 88. 2 PFF grade, allowing a completion percentage of just 53% when targeted, and an EPA per target of -0.29, which means he's effectively shutting down routes and limiting big plays. His man coverage percentage is around 85%, which aligns perfectly with Detroit's defensive scheme, and he's been very efficient at tackling, with an 80% success rate. So why would the Panthers be willing to part ways with Horn? Well, besides their rebuild, they're also focusing heavily on cap management. Carolina is looking at freeing up around $15 million to extend younger players like Young as they navigate a roster that's leaking sacks, about 30 per season, highlighting their issues on the offensive line. They want to invest in protecting their franchise QB and building a more balanced team. Plus, with Horn's value rising and the Panthers likely wanting to acquire draft capital for the future, a second-round pick in 2026 seems like a fair deal for both sides. For Detroit, acquiring Horn would be a game-changer. Think about it. Adding a lockdown corner like him would significantly boost their pass defense, which is already pretty solid but could benefit from an elite shutdown player. His presence would allow Jerry Jacobs and Emmanuel Mosley to thrive in different roles, giving the Lions a more flexible, aggressive secondary. And that's not just about individual matchups. Imagine the ripple effect. Horn's ability to neutralize top receivers would open opportunities for Detroit's pass rush, which has been led by Aiden Hutchinson, who's already racked up 5 sacks this season. Horn's addition could also reduce the need for overcommitting pressure, balancing the defense and making the Lions even more unpredictable. From an impact perspective, bringing Horn to Detroit could lead to an estimated +4 interception rate, which means more turnovers and more chances to flip field position or score off defense. It would also cut down the opposing team's yards per pass attempt from around 7-0 to about 5-7, making life much tougher for opposing quarterbacks. The pass completion rate against Detroit could jump from 13% to 30%, and importantly, yards after catch allowed could drop from 6.5 to 4.0, which is huge in terms of limiting big plays. These improvements would translate into a more disciplined, aggressive, and opportunistic defense, something that could be the final piece in Detroit's puzzle to contend seriously for a Super Bowl. Now, considering playoff implications, Horn's addition could boost the Lions' chances significantly. Current odds for the Lions winning the Super Bowl are around +1,500, but with Horn's impact, those odds could improve to about +550. His presence in the secondary would be a clear X factor in the postseason, especially against high-powered offenses like the Falcons or the NFC North rivals. Remember, Detroit already has a formidable offense led by Jared Goff, and adding a player of Horn's caliber on defense could elevate them from a good team to a great one, capable of making a deep playoff run and possibly even securing a Super Bowl appearance. His ability to perform in high-pressure games was demonstrated in the 2024 season when he had 2 interceptions and a touchdown against the Falcons, showcasing that he can deliver when it counts most. This trade would also send a message to the rest of the league. The Lions are serious about their championship ambitions. It's a bold move, but one that fits perfectly with their current trajectory. Detroit's defense, already solid, would become a nightmare for opposing QBs, especially with Horn's ability to neutralize the best receivers, forcing teams to rethink their game plans. Plus, it would send a signal that the Lions are not just content with the status quo. They're pushing all in, aiming to build an elite, balanced roster that can compete with the best of the best in the NFL. Of course, there are some considerations. The Panthers are likely looking for draft picks that could help them rebuild faster, and Horn's injury history might be a factor in negotiations. But for Detroit, acquiring Horn makes a ton of sense, adding a Pro Bowl caliber corner who can step in immediately and make an impact. It's about elevating the entire defense, creating more turnovers, and turning those into points on the board. It's about solidifying the secondary so that teams think twice before throwing in Horn's direction. It's about creating a defensive unit that's as feared as Detroit's offense, which is already among the best in the league. In conclusion, this potential move could be the catalyst for Lions' championship aspirations. It's a strategic, bold step that aligns with their current roster needs and future goals. Horn's talent, combined with Detroit's coaching staff and scheme, could elevate the defense to a new level, making them one of the most formidable teams in the NFC and beyond. It's a move that could define the franchise's era, cementing the Lions as serious contenders and setting the stage for a new chapter of dominance. Fans, this is exactly the kind of move we've been waiting for, one that shows Detroit isn't just playing for good seasons anymore. They're aiming for greatness, and with a move like this, the sky's the limit. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Horn would be the perfect addition to our secondary? Are you excited about what this could mean for the playoff push and Super Bowl ambitions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned for all the latest Detroit Lions news. Keep that Lions pride high and let's keep dreaming big, because the best is yet to come.